Now, for the first time ever, we have firsthand eyewitness testimony from the lead neurosurgeon still at the hospital who describes face-to-face contact with the live alien for 4 minutes. It's
Okay, so
incredible.
at this point, James, with your permission, we're going to roll the little sizzle grab you've given us from Dr. Italo Venturelli. Here's Dr. Italo.
Meu nome é Ítalo Venturelli, estudei em São Paulo, eu fiz neurologia, neurocirurgia, fiz mais de 5.000 cirurgias. Só queria deixar essa mensagem que eu realmente vi. No dia fui ver como se eu tivesse ido ver um paciente, e não era um paciente, realmente era um alien, claramente um alien. O crânio era em forma de gota, os olhos em forma de gota. Eu fui ver um paciente achando que era um humano. E eu vi ali um ser maravilhoso de um mundo que eu não conheço. Me pergunto se estava sofrendo, ele não estava sofrendo, se ele estava entendendo, ele estava entendendo. Muito calmo, muito tranquilo, olhou para mim como se entendesse tudo o que eu estava pensando. Eu acho bacana conversar isso, explicar para as pessoas que existem muito mais coisas do que a gente imagina. Para mim foi muito importante ver, porque eu vi a imensidão que tem esse universo, né? Não somos só nós aqui, nesse mundo tão maravilhoso, mas deve existir muitos outros, e aquele ser que estava ali é prova disso.
What I love, James, about Dr. Italo is he's very open about the fact that this being touched him. He seems quite emotional about the experience.
So, okay, I'll tell you how this came about because it's extraordinary what happened. We knew we knew that the live alien was at regional hospital. We have people that we're in touch with over more than a decade that work at both hospitals that we meet privately with every time we go to Virginia. It's always quiet, off the record. They come and there's certain secrets they talk about during surgery and only during surgery. So we knew, and from other testimony, that that creature was it. So the other neurosurgeon who was on duty that night was his sort of protege. It was Dr. Italo and Dr. Marcos Vinicius. Dr. Marco Vinicius did a little procedure on the creature. Apparently, it was had some damage, some swelling, something happened. Did a little procedure on the creature, and I don't want to go into too much detail because it's an ongoing thing. And then he had a heart attack and died in 2018. Okay, so now
Wow.
he's gone, and his partner, who's the lead neurosurgeon, Dr. Italo, himself had a heart attack just a few months ago. And he's in the ICU, staring at the ceiling, thinking that he was going to die. And he thought, I can't believe I'm taking this to the grave. This is not right. If I survive this, I'm going public. And
Good for
then,
him.
yep. And so he said, I'm doing this for my grandchildren, and I don't care what the consequences are. I don't care. That's what
That
he
is
said.
such a raw act of courage. Those are the kind of whistleblowers we need, James. And
Yep.
full
I
credit
get
to
like,
you. Full credit to you for persuading him to speak to you about it. I just take my hat off to witnesses like Dr. Italo Venturelli for having the courage to come forward. Was he
we
threatened not to speak?
Oh yeah, so what happened was, and I want to send a shout out to Alini Kras, who's our lead translator and one of our co-producers. She has a very disarming presence, and she calmed him, and he snuck us into the back of the hospital, snuck us in, and we're going, what's happening? What's going on? He sneaks us into the ICU, exactly where it happened. We get masked up because you can't be in the ICU without it. So we get all of our masks on. I don't know where this is going, and all of a sudden he just starts telling all
Wow.
and and it was extraordinary. And then the hospital staff caught us filming. And what are you doing in here? You're not supposed to be filming. Nobody has any permits. Nobody, So they kick us out. But we got in the goods. And he's like, I think I just lost my job. And so they kick us all out. So we leave the hospital and we go into a cafe. We didn't know where we're going. We just went into a cafe next door and we're filming at this cafe. We're all like practically crying. And I asked him how it felt after 29 years to come forward. what it was like to look into the eyes of this creature. Tell me what it was like. I was dying to know. And he said it was a higher level of intelligence, so much higher, more advanced. Even though that it was in captivity, it had control of the room. He said, an intelligence way beyond. It was like an angel. But he describes his skin as more white with the big red eyes and the little horns, exactly the way the girls described. And I just thought to myself, was that sort of a defense measure? Did their skin react to the hot sun? When they're scared and freed? I don't know. When I asked Dr. Ichilo on camera what it felt like after 29 years of this bottled up, he started crying. He just, he's been sitting, like, you imagine the weight of that on his shoulders, and he felt so much compassion for this being that was in captivity. The love, the compassion, the elevated consciousness is what he said. He said, we have so much to learn from the eyes of that being.
And yet, for 30 years, it's going to be 30 years in January next year since this incident occurred, which is why the timing of your new film, your updated film, is so important.